I find it very strange that the people who really tell you how to live your life are miserable. Why would you listen to miserable people? Obviously, they haven't got it figured out. People tell you, get a job. Seek the stability, you know? You gotta get a job. You gotta get money. You gotta get these things in order. Very serious. I'm being serious. You have to do it. You gotta suck it up, man. You gotta suck it up and get a job. You're being lazy. You're being goddamn lazy. Come on, man. Grow up. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Why would you listen to these people? They're so angry. They're so bitter. Resentful. You see, they're trying to convert people into their ideology because they don't want to realize that they made the wrong choice in life to seek all this stability, because as I say all the goddamn time, seeking stability makes you miserable. This is the new phase of my life. This is the new breed. Fuck this shit, man. I'm coming back to my roots of human behavior. I'm alive, dude. I'm alive. Got the spirit within me. Right? Money can buy you happiness. Make no doubt about it. Money can buy you life-changing experiences. Yes. It's true. Money is good. I ain't knocking it. But I tell you what, if you had to choose between having a lot of money and being miserable, or having no money but having life within inside of you, which do you want? And again, this isn't always black and white, of course. Ideally, you want to have life within you and a lot of money. But if you are faced with these opportunities that kind of present themselves to you of like, where it does kind of feel black and white, then man, I just have to choose the life over the money. People stress, and then because they live in this framework and stress about money, then they project all this stress onto you, you know. It's like, but what are you gonna do? You need to pay your rent. Hey man, if you got the gumption inside of yourself, you'll find a way, you know? And I would much rather have the gumption within me than just kind of going about life, toddling along, got just sufficient funds, just living a routine life. Man, life is much more fun when you got the gumption to get your money for rent, you know what I mean? And of course, don't be stupid about it, right? You know, see into the future. Don't be buying shit you don't need. Save the money for the rent. I know. But it's not the end of the world, man. Stress. Stop stressing. I ain't gonna stress, man. I don't want to stress. So I'm not gonna. If I go look at my bank account and go, oh shit, I haven't got sufficient funds for my oncoming rent. Well, I ain't gonna stress. I'm gonna tell myself, get the gumption inside of yourself, and go out into the world and make shit happen. What is gumption? Gumption is spirited initiative and resourcefulness. It's having the courage to be like, I'm gonna make something happen. I'm gonna do it no matter what, you know. I can do it, you know. I got life within me. I can make shit happen, right? You know, I ain't got everything, but what have I got? Like, look around you. What have I got? What can I do? Look, I've got a guitar. I can go out busk, get some money. You know, I've got a phone. I've got contacts, you know, call people. You know, do you need fucking help with something for a bit of cash, you know? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's gumption, man. That is gumption. So I hope you're kind of understanding this vibe that I'm talking about here. And a lot of people might say this is irresponsible. And yes, it certainly can be irresponsible if you lean too much into this and you don't have the gumption, because then you stress and then you don't make anything happen. It's a balance, man. Like, it's not one or the other, you know. Look, live your life. What do you think? Stop caring about what other people think. People think you got to get a job and you got to do this right, and you know, people are worried for you, and it's like, hey man, I'm all good. See, people make you stress, you know. People make you stress. But what do you think? What do you really think? Life would be just fine knowing that you have gumption. It would be just fine. It'd be just fine. Exercise your gumption. You have to. You have to. And it's scary, but that's what makes life so rewarding, right? That's actually living life, man. Like, doing the things you're afraid of, but knowing that you got to do them. When you do those things, it's like, wow, man, like, I feel so good. Like, I did that. My voice trembled. I blushed in the face. My chest was palpitating. Shit was scary. But hey, man, I did it. And you're like, wow, I did that. And then you can do it over and over again. Keep doing it. Get better at it. And that's life, you know. That's like, wow, I'm living life, rather than just going through the mundane routine. So what's the worst that can happen, man? Like, there's really not really much that can happen, man. I mean, look, you're living now. Your life is a gift. Like, you don't own anything, so there's nothing that can be taken away from you. You got nothing to lose, man. You know? The saying. People say, you got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose. You know? It's like, why not do this thing? I've got, you know, you've got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose. Yeah, man, you got nothing to lose. Because you don't have anything. You never did. Everything is on rental. Everything's on rental. His body's on rental. His body is your rental vehicle. Everything's going to be just fine. What are you going to stress about? Because you're going to the grave anyway. See, it all comes down to social validation, social connection. You want people to view you as sufficient. Because what if you're homeless, but you got the gumption? You know, you live a different way to what society values. And yeah, people ain't gonna understand you because you're outside their conceptual framework. You don't compute with their conceptual framework. They look at you and it's like, does not compute. Overdrive. I don't understand this person. Oh my God. You know? So it's lonely. Yeah, man, it's lonely. But man, self-love, self-leadership. Anyway, what else do I want to talk about here? Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. You know, this message is for me as well. I gotta hear this message. I gotta keep saying this to myself, you know. And when I say this to myself, you know, these kinds of things that I've spoken about in this video thus far, I have another voice inside me that's been conditioned within me. And this voice says, this is irresponsible. It's so irresponsible. You can't live like this. You have to seek the things that makes you stable, you know, and you have to seek all this kind of shit, man, all this kind of shit, you know. But I don't care, man. I want to live my life. I want to live my life. Follow my passion. Follow my bliss. What else matters in life, man? What else matters? Nothing matters, man. A lot of people are working towards things. A lot of people are building things in order to feel blissful. And when you reach the end of what you're trying to build and you build it, it's there. You feel blissful for a bit. But then it's like, what's next? What do I build next? Why not just feel blissful all the time and just follow that bliss within yourself? And again, there's nothing wrong with trying to build something, like, but you know, you really have to just tune in with yourself and know what is worth building and what is not. And sometimes, you know, it's not always easy, you know. Like, you know, like the last couple months or so, you know, I've been putting in a lot of effort to, you know, upload every day, make these videos, and also, you know, write a book, start up this online community, the Truth Playground. You can come and join, click the top link in the description. You know, learn about, you know, quote unquote business or whatever. Like, and you know, just set up one-on-one calls if you want to chat, want some guidance, link in the description too. And you know, just thinking about this and whatever. working, what am I trying to say, dude? Like working hard on something, putting in the effort. I guess what I'm trying to say is like you take something to the completion of the there's energy within you that wants to build something. Take that energy to the completion. It may not be the completion like logically of what you think you want to complete or what other people think the end result should be, but your body knows what the end result is. So for me, it's like right now I'm at this point of completion with these kinds of videos that I do, and like all the stuff that I've created on my community, the book, the setting up one-on-one calls, just getting like really engaged, invested in this kind of area of business and making money through an authentic way that's actually passionate for me. And now it's like, okay, I set all that up. I completed the goals. The energy within me doesn't want to do any more anymore. I've set it up. It's all there. People can come and join the community, buy the book, have a one-on-one call. Done it. I'm going to continue making these videos. This is now part of what I do. And I'm not saying that this is going to be completed forever. I'm probably still going to add some more things in the online community and try and, fine tune everything else and whatever. But for now, it's like, that's all gone. What feels alive within me now is like, I want to fucking find some people and play some music with. And so I'm just going to follow that, man. Like, why not? This is life. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? There's nothing to worry about. It's nothing to worry about. And actually, this is difficult to acknowledge. You think that it would be such relief to realize that there's nothing to worry about. And yeah, it will be relieving in the long term, but initially, that's quite scary for you to realize. Because your whole life is built on problems that you have to solve. And you think you have to worry about these problems in order to solve them. And you think you have problems that need to be solved. And I'm not saying that there are no problems in your life that needs to be solved, but you don't have to conceptualize them as problems. You just have to be like, okay, this is just the next kind of thing. This is the next thing that I gotta look at, or whatever. And you don't have to worry about it though. But we have our whole lives are set up in this way of here's me in this storyline, and there are these problems that I got to solve, and I'm worrying about these problems. And so to let go of worry, you are like grieving the death of the story of your life. You're grieving the death of, your social self. Because as you go about in the world, you see everybody on this path with these problems, trying to overcome them. And that's how we relate with each other. And so if you let go of your worries, then you go out into the social world and you have no worries and no problems. How do you relate with other people? You know what I mean? How do you relate with other people? Because most of social interaction is like, I got these problems and I'm trying to solve them. You know what I mean? I'm worried about this. Let's converse and try and find out solutions. But it's like, if you drop the worries, drop the sense of problems and solutions, it's hard to relate, And of course there's some, you can still relate, of course, but, like most of the time it's like, you know what I mean? So you're grieving the death of yourself, man, because the social self is like the biggest part of yourself. Because think about it, it's like you only know you because you know other people. Like your sense of self is dependent on every other person. It's like, imagine if you were born into a world with no people. You wouldn't have this sense of a self in the same way that you do now, because it's like your sense of self is dependent on every other person's sense of self. Is dependent upon it. They're all interconnected. It's like the only way that you know yourself is because you know other people. You know what I mean? And the thoughts you have about yourself, just all your thoughts in general, they couldn't exist without other people's thoughts, other people's, how they think about, like, is this making sense? So yeah, man. Letting go of worry, it's letting go of a massive chunk of yourself, grieving the death of that. Now that's scary. That's fearful. And lonely. Because again, it's like all these worries that we have, they're all very similar. Money worries, relationship worries, family worries, health worries, purpose worries, self-image worries. They're all similar. Like, we all have the same kind of worries. So if you let go of them, yeah. So you don't want to let go of them because you don't want to let go of yourself. Understandable, isn't it? Yeah. Well, so, ha 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 ha. Yeah, I want to live my life gumptuously. I do, man. It's the best kind of way to live. It's the right way to live. So it makes life feel alive. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to get anything right, like, just fuck about. like test shit out. Try shit. Just see what happens. Just start before you're ready. When you get that anxiety where it's like, I could do that, shit, I don't know if I'm capable of doing that though. Like, that's kind of scary, and you kind of feel this like anxiety in your chest. It's like, it's probably the message saying, just do it. And you do that thing, whatever it is, and yeah, maybe your voice trembles, you can't fucking speak properly, you're sweating with anxiety. But again, it's like, that's living. Gotta shake things up every once in a while, So give shit a try, because you can always back out whenever you want, because you have the authority over you. You are your authority. Don't place authority onto anybody else except you, man. If you decide to get some job, you're like, let me try this out. I need some money. Let me try this job. Give it a go. And then it's like maybe like a week later, you're like, man, this is like fucking soul destroying. Fuck this. Mate, you've got the authority to fucking just stop, quit, And maybe it's like you signed a contract or whatever. But it's like, man, like, this is your life. Do you understand? It's like, this is your life. Something's not resonating. Get the fuck out of there, mate. And of course, it's like, give things a try. Give things a good go. Put your wholehearted effort into it. Right? Because sometimes there are things that we do that don't really like initially align with our beliefs, but maybe that is because our current beliefs are based in like, a twisted way of thinking, like a dysfunctional way of thinking or whatever. Maybe so we need to rewire our beliefs, right? Reprogram our beliefs. So that, like, test shit out. It's like, oh, this thing, I don't think this thing's for me. Doesn't really fit my character. Doesn't really fit my vibe. I don't really resonate with it. But give it a go, because maybe you just need to, like, you have some, belief systems that are just like kind of faulty, that are just kind of, you understand what I mean? So it's like, give things a good go. Yeah. But eventually you do know, it's like, is this like nourishing to my soul? Is this like really like giving me like the spirit, like this aliveness? You got to be sensitive with yourself. You got to like really know who you are. And it takes time to know who you are, because you don't know who you are. Like in this context, like, you're how you're wired, your body and mind, you have predispositions of like what resonates with your body and mind, like that's never going to change. Some things are just, they just don't, like, some things within you just don't change. You have them throughout your whole life. It's like the soul's characteristics, like the soul's personality. But it takes lived experience and trial and error to really understand your soul's personality. But eventually you kind of know what it is about, and then you know what's good for you and what isn't. But sometimes it takes a bit of trial and error. But yeah, all I'm saying, man, is like, it's like, you are your own authority. Get the fuck out of the shit. that you know is not good for you. Deep down, soulfully, you know is not good. Don't waste time with misery, unnecessary suffering. Life's hard, man. Like, just acknowledge that life is hard, and it's hard for everybody. So have compassion with yourself. Nobody got nothing figured out, mate. Like, no one knows what the fuck's going on. Like, we're just giving everything our best shot, our best go at life. And so just be gentle with yourself, man. Because everybody's different as well. Everybody is wired differently. Everybody's soul has a different personality. Not everything works for everybody. And that's okay, you know. This society and culture tends to think that, you know, that everybody should fit into these things that they've laid out for people. You know, it's like, okay, we got all these kinds of things that should be accommodating for everybody, but it's not. There's so many different people about with different kind of wiring that just doesn't fit into any of what society offers. And if you think like society is like real and true, that can make you feel pretty shit, because it's like, this world isn't for me. But it's like, it is for you, but it's just unfortunate that not enough people acknowledge that, or even have something that can be offered to these other people. Like, is that making sense? Like, some people just don't fit into this world, man. It's like, they fit into the world. They have a role to play in this world. They have gifts to give in their own unique way. I think everybody has a unique gift to give, but some people have a gift to give that society doesn't recognize or acknowledge. It doesn't have any kind of ways to support that gift or nourish it, make it grow, flourish it. And so that's when self-love comes in and is extremely important. But you have to know this. You have to know yourself. You know, you have to know that's like, okay, this is true within me. What I'm feeling here is true. Society doesn't acknowledge it. Society doesn't have anything for this. It can't nurture it in any way. But I know it's real in me. So it's like, I'm just going to have to nurture that within myself. And hopefully there are other people out there that have the same kind of wiring, the same kind of soul's personality or whatever, however you want to think about it. And I can connect with them. And then, you know, and by doing that, that's how society starts becoming more accommodating for more people. So don't be hard on yourself, man, because like sometimes I do think like, fuck, I'm just being like a fucking problem child, mate. Like I'm just stirring up shit for no reason. It's like, why am I so against like getting a job, and why do I have this rebellious attitude against, you know, like the government and systems and all this kind of bullshit? Why am I so like against this? Like, am I just lazy? Do I just like not want to work, you know? Because I get this energy from a lot of people, you know? People, it's like, come on, man. It's like, just get a fucking job. Get a fucking job, you know? I sense that energy. But they don't understand what's going on within me. It's like, I've tried getting jobs, you know? Like, you know, again, it's like you have to try shit out. And, you know, I've tried going down these pathways of these, you know, getting into, you know, these systems and whatever else. And it's like, I give it my shot, I give it a good go, but it's like ultimately, like I already know, man, like it's not for me. Like I've got another gift to offer here. I've got valuable shit to offer. But you know, I've got to be true to myself, man. You know. So anyway. Gumption. Spirited initiative and resourcefulness. Wow, that's life, man. That is living life. That's what makes life good. Right? Spiritedness. Initiative. Right? Like deciding to just take a step in a direction and see what happens. And resourcefulness, looking around you, what have I got to use? You know, what have I got? You know, I ain't got everything, but I got some shit that I could put to use. You go out into the world with courage. You try and make shit happen. And you know, courage is not the absence of fear or anxiety. Courage is having the fear and anxiety, but going ahead with what you know you got to go ahead with. It ain't easy, but that's why courage is, I think everybody hears the word courage and, you know, being brave. I think people hear that and immediately value that, you know. Courage is something valuable, is something people admire. It's like, yeah, wow. Yeah. Courage is good. Courage is good. Just have the intention to be courageous. And it doesn't have to be courageous in some big, massive thing. Everybody's different. It could be something small, you know, like making a phone call or whatever, you know. So courage is doing the thing that you know you need to do because it will be good for you. The thing that you're scared to do, but know that it's good for you. Do it. That's courage. And you build that courage, you know, the more you do it, the more you realize you're capable of it. So I hope you got some value from this video. Please like and subscribe, that helps me out a lot. And come join the Truth Playground, top link in the description. It's our online community, and I will see you next time. Peace.